All right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It says you too. This is Pastor Dowell. I'm coming to you here this morning to speak to you about what do you do when you have a perceived offense or perceived ought, either against someone or someone against you. I cannot tell you how many times on a weekly basis that you have little skirmishes or issues among brethren and sisters. And I can't tell you how many times I repeat Matthew 18. I don't understand. And I cannot understand for the life of me why in the world do brothers and sisters refuse to go to each other and communicate when they have oughts or faults. Now, I know the root cause. The root cause is fear. And the root cause, now that doesn't mean that they're afraid of the person. They're fearful of doing Yah's will. They're fearful of doing what the word says. Jesus laid it out for us and told us how to rectify a lot of these situations. And believe it or not, it takes some time to get here, but I'll tell you what, over the years, I have found it to be safety and I have found it to be a defense. And that's the reason why I preach and teach and talk the way I do, because I've come to learn that people are really truly not interested in holiness. I've come to learn that people are really truly not interested in righteousness or doing right. What I have come to learn over these many years of pastoring is that people are interested in doing their will and calling it the will of Yah. That's what the problem is. And the reason why people do not want to confront those who they have issues with, and they would rather go and talk to somebody else, hopefully to get them to go talk to them, is because they simply will not meet biblical conditions and terms. It's an epidemic. And there's no way that the assembly or assemblies of heaven, there's no way that they can grow strong as a people unless we start doing what this book says. So a lot of people simply are not going to submit to biblical terms because it simply does not fit their book of the law. And make no mistake about it, not everyone that names the name of Christ, not everyone that says Master, Master, not everyone says Jesus, Jesus, or Yahshua, Yahshua, is going to enter into the kingdom. And you pretty much find out who the guilty party is when people refuse to do what the Bible says. I hear a lot of stuff about a lot of people all the time. And you know what I end up always doing? Telling those people to go do what Jesus told us to do. Go do the first steps. Go do the first works. I don't even want to hear it. They'll get to starting going in, and I can discern that somewhere in the conversation, they're weaving something in there. I go, hold time out. Who are you talking about? Well, I'm really talking about, and you got to understand, people today they're getting wise to do evil. They're getting wise to the point that they're going fishing and they're looking for all these around the curve and up the hill and down in the valley answers rather than doing the simple task of what the book says. Go to your brother or to your sister. And if they don't go, you know who the evil party is. It's just that clear and that simple. That's why that I believe that having two or more witnesses with you at all times is actually wisdom. For instance, I'll get someone that may say so. I get people to talk about me all the time, and I don't find out until after the fact. And I know that all these people are covering, but it's amazing because if you realize that someone is making disparaging comments about someone, or they're giving false information. First of all, number one, you got to ask yourself, why you got the ear to listen to what they have to say in the first place? I simply cut people off if they can't go do the first steps in what the book says. I know Pastor Dowell is the only one in the whole world that is charged to obey this Bible. Everybody else can transgress it. Everybody else can do whatever they want. And everybody else can just make life a living hell. But Pastor Dowell, you're the only one in the universe that is charged to do exactly what that Bible says. Now, I know I'm being a little sarcastic right here, but I tell you what, I do exactly like this Bible says. I really, truly do. And I've always found it to be safety for me. And, you know, it's a mess when you have a congregation, you the man of Yah, and then you got all this insurrection. and all this tyranny going on because they fancy themselves as if they are your judges and they can judge you. If you're spiritual, you don't have to worry about people if you're spirit, providing that you're spiritual. Because being in a leadership position, you're going to be shot at all the time. But I tell you, the blueprint is, you people, you got a fault, you got trouble with me, then come to me. And you won't believe, I've had people in the past that has lived here on this land. They came with zero, zilch, not a nothing. And the next thing you know, they've got an attitude against me. They've got a problem against me. They're slandering me in their homes behind the scenes. Now, mind you, I gave them a house. I gave them a home. I gave them food, clothing. I brought them into our community right here and told them whatever we have here is yours. We are family. You need to use a vehicle. It's right there. All you have to do is just let us know where you're going or you need one. People always know where I'm at because we function after a community. We're a community mindset. Take them in, let them become part of my family, only to have other new saints come in or new people who pretend themselves to be saints. They end up get spitting in each other's ear. Next thing you know, I discern because I'm very keen in discernment. Wow, look at here. And these people are ill and have malice in their heart towards me. And they can't tell you one reason why. It's just the devil. They just can't tell you one reason why. I'm sure many of you deal with that all the time. So if people will refuse to submit to the Bible, I ain't got nothing to do with it. I mean, I really, truly, what can you do about it if they won't do it? But only in Matthew 18, it clearly tells you, and I'm going to start at verse 15 through 20, all right? And I want y'all to listen to me real close. Listen real close. Because I'm going to tell you right now that Pastor Dowell is not about to listen to a bunch of foolishness from anyone, especially if you slander me or you make accusations against me and I can't stand before my accuser. I'm not about to answer nobody questions that will not submit to biblical terms. Every once in a while, I may get on YouTube or something like that and type in a statement and stuff. But I tell you, you people are amazing. But if somebody accuses me of something, unless I can actually get there and stand physically in front of my accuser, you can get no answers or nothing out of me. People can say whatever they want, and they do all the time. I have a lot on my plate, and life is bigger than me giving a slanderer or an accuser too much attention. If they can't meet biblical terms and conditions, I ain't got nothing to do with it. You can pick and choose to believe what you want to believe. That still does not stop what I have to do concerning y'all's mission. So let's hopefully, some way, somehow, get a little bit of education here this morning, a little bit of word in us, and hope we can be doers of the word and not hearers only. Matthew 18, verse 15, Jesus said, moreover, if a brother shall trespass against thee. That means if he has a viable trespass. That don't mean you go create issues, you go create trespasses, and then you want to go set these people down and you tell these people, I got a problem with you because of blah, 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 and these people ain't done nothing against you. Do you know what manner of spirit you of and what kind of spirit you are under? And that's the problem we have today. There ain't too many spiritual people going on in this world today. But anyway, it says, more if our brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. That's between you and him alone. But you know what we do in this country? What we do is we have what we call a perceived fault with someone. What we do is we go spit in this person's ear and tell them our side of the story. And then we go spit in this person's ear and tell them our side of the story. And it's good for us, especially good for me, because I'm getting ready to find out who's spiritual and who's not. I'm getting ready to find out who's a real true Israelite and who's not. I'm getting ready to find out who's Judas and who's not. Because even if you don't know what the Bible says, if you got the Ruah, you will do what the Bible says. Even if you don't know what it says, you're going to do it. And so these people go around and they start getting these other people to ally with them, hopefully to put pressure to, or bring pressure to bear against someone who they have an ought to get in order to affect change. And you got to have big shoulders to fight this spiritual battle, because there's all kinds of, the devil, whether you people like it or not, He's not just flying around in the air just to be flying. He is working inside of people. Do you understand that? The devil is working inside of people. And whenever they don't submit to what the Bible says, the devil is talking to you and you have entertained him. And the Bible says, give no place to the devil. And most of you, as soon as the devil come around, start talking, and you don't submit to this book right here, first thing you do, give an ear. Oh, you don't say, oh, I don't believe. Now, if I, no, you wouldn't. You do the same thing that these weak cowards are doing. But let's get on right here. You're supposed to go and tell the fault between him and him alone. That's a viable fault, not making up some issue, all right? If he shall hear thee, you has gained thy brother. So that's letting you know that the intent of these people is not to gain. It's not to gain. The intent is not to gain their brother. They want death. They want blood. They want separation. They want it their way. That's the reason why they don't do this. Because the truth is, chances are they may come with an accusation and they may be found out because they've been hiding under a cloak of maliciousness for a very long time. Look at the devil, and the devil is a liar. But if he will hear thee, then take with thee, if he says in verse 16, but if he will not hear thee, then take with thee 2 or more, that in the mouth of 2 or more witnesses, every word may be established. Now, that says you just get 2 people. That doesn't mean that you go out here and you start telling people your side of the story, and then you got these people automatically on your side. No, you go get 2 witnesses and say, hey, we need to come talk to them. And if they refuse to talk about that matter, then you already know who guilty is. You know who guilty. It's manifesting itself. If he shall neglect to hear them, tell it to the church. But if he neglect to hear the church, then let him be unto thee as a heathen man and a publican. In other words, you get the devil away from you. And of course, I've learned over the years, I don't have to worry about too much. That people don't submit to biblical terms. All I do is just keep doing right, keep doing holiness, keep doing what the Bible says, and it won't be long that you'll create a holy environment that the devils can't hang around and feel comfortable no more, and they'll kick the traces on you. I just had somebody just kick the traces in the wee hours of the night and just gone, left family and everything, gone. Wow. Amazing, isn't it? Think about this. So you let them be a heathen and a publican, meaning you need to put them out from you because they're not. It's obvious that they're not going to do what the Bible says. Verily I say unto you that whatsoever you shall bind on earth shall bound in heaven, and whatsoever you shall loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. And again I say unto you that if any 2 of you shall agree on earth as touching anything that they shall ask, it shall be done for them of my Father which is in heaven. And where the 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, in my authority, that's what that means. There I am in the midst of them. And I think the problem is that people are running from Jesus. They're running from righteousness. But you people got to understand, there's always 2 sides to every story. And where did Jesus get this principle from? Why, he got it from the Torah. 1 witness shall not rise up against another. By the mouth of 2 or more witnesses, every word must be established. But see, when you're a Christian or you still have the residue of Christianity in you, or you have the residue of this world, you're going to revert back or go back. And you can tell if people hadn't been studying or they really truly don't believe this book. But they're going to revert back to the old nature and the old man. You're going to find out what's in every single one of us when it comes time for the test and the trial. That's when you're going to find out what you really truly are made of. I hope that I've said something that taught you all a lesson here. But if not, makes no difference to me. Pastor Dow has got to get to the kingdom, and I got a bunch of people that'll follow me as I follow Christ, and I got to help get them there. No matter what you do, we're going to do and submit to righteousness, and that's all there's to it. We're going to submit to biblical terms and always do it, whether you understand it like it or not. It may always not work in your favor. It may not work in your favor at all. But we're going to do what the book says. And it's not for me to convince the whole world. But, hey, you need to convince yourself, and that's the truth. And that's the truth straight way. hey, keep the faith.